Hey everybody, what's going on? It's Big for One Gaming here. Welcome back to episode number 104 of winning a national title with every team in the game. If you guys have missed any of the episodes, up in the right hand corner will be a playlist from episode 1 to 104. Obviously, if you guys are unable to watch those videos, I completely understand. Down in the description below will be a record of every team they have done so far and their season they eventually won a national championship. So, all in all, new episode means new team, which means we get a wheel spin. And let's see which team the wheel chooses in this one. And it looks like we're going back to the Big 12. I mean, these next three are the Big 12 anyways. And we're going to BYU. So we get a Utah team after a while there. That's not what I want. I want a Big 12 there. Yep. And BYU, one of the newer teams in the Big 12. 80 overall, one of the lower rated. Actually, the lowest rated in the Big 12-wise. But we can definitely change that because we are a recruiter head coach. So that is nice. And they've been actually pretty decent in the last couple of years as well. If I remember correctly, they did okay in their first year. Can't remember now, honestly. It's been a while since the last season was here-wise. This is not what I wanted to do. I want to check the coaching abilities here first before we get into anything. We do have recruiter, mostly for the defense. Okay, linebackers got a little boost, and O-line's got the actions, but no one else, just at least that-wise. We do have talent developer, mostly for lower-rated defensive line and linebackers. That will definitely help. And then we also have motivator, mostly for the defense, D-line, and linebackers as well. So that is nice. Offensive coordinator is probably going to get fired. I mean, he's actually pretty good at motivating, but I want someone with recruiter and motivator just so we can have some extra boosts everywhere. Our recruiter for D-line, nothing really for increasing weekly hours, but we does have Scheme Guru, and he's actually pretty decent in that spot as well. Checking out our team-wise, again, we're like one of the lower-rated teams in the Big 12, but we actually have some very good players. 85 left in, he'll be leaving us. Same thing with his 84 left tackle. Decent safety, hopefully we can keep him for another season. Same thing with LJ Martin. His thing is pro potential, but I think with 85 and 84, we may get him drafted. I don't know. We are losing a lot of just normal 80 overalls as well. Our quarterback is Bo Hannon, but he'll be leaving us. But we do have Patrick Anderson, who will definitely be around for a couple of seasons, hopefully. We have actually a bunch of quarterbacks, so I think we're good there unless half of them want to leave. We're desperately going to need halfbacks. Wide receivers are actually pretty decent on. Could use one or two more. Tight end, we have a bunch, but we're only losing one, so that's fine. Left tackle, losing our top two, so just needing depth. Same thing with center. Same thing with the right guard. Right tackle, actually pretty good on. Defensive ends, the same thing, just depth. The whole D-line pretty much. The left outside are actually pretty good. Middle linebacker, we could use one more. Good on outside linebackers. Corners, I mean, we're good on speed as well. I just need more overall boost. Safeties are good. Strong safeties are good. And we do not need a kicker and punter. So we really don't need much in area but one here with BYU. But I'm going to go ahead and set up everything. And I'll be right back with the end of Season 1 here with BYU. So here we are at the end of season number 1 here with BYU. We go 5-7, and unfortunate 5-7 on the season. Started off with a win, and then loss, win, and then 5 straight losses against Arizona, Oklahoma State, UCF, Utah, and Kansas before beating Arizona State and Houston to end up going only 5-7. So unfortunately, we don't do well in the Big 12. We do have to fire our offensive coordinator. I didn't want to forget about that. So we are going to let him go. But other than that, we just need to find someone a little bit better at the offensive coordinator position. Something that we need, really. Our defensive coordinator will stay. 80 overall, I mean, isn't bad, but Jalen Milroe wins the Heisman Trophy. 3,400 yards, 31 touchdowns, only 2 interceptions. A very solid season from him. Of course, we're not making any college football playoff, but we do have to hire an offensive coordinator. And if I didn't have a defense coordinator like that, I actually like this guy. See if we can't get him. Because if we can, that means we both are the same thing, and that's going to improve us a bunch. So let's see what it is. Let's see where he goes. He was the head coach of App State, and he becomes the offensive coordinator of BYU. We'll take it. Heck yeah. So let's go ahead and simulate to the in-season recap here and see who eventually wins the national title here in season number 1. Usually it's a couple teams. Last time we did get kind of surprised with the team last year, but Pro Potential is down to a D+. Coach Prestige is down. Coach Stability is down. Man, there's a lot of people wanting to transfer out, so luckily we signed a good amount of prospects for this upcoming year. But it's back to normalcy. Georgia defeats Clemson 31-14, with Liberty, Clemson, Alabama, Oregon, and Kansas State with the automatic qualifiers, with Ohio State, Oklahoma, Texas, UCF, Penn State, and Oklahoma State and Georgia as the at-large bids. So that's going to end season 1. It's on to season number 2 here with BYU. So here we are in season number 2 here with BYU. We go 6-6 again in a season. We beat FC. I think we went 5-7 the first time. But we go 6-6 this year, where you start off with a win, then a loss, then a win. Lost 4 in a row, especially against Arizona and UCF. We actually went 2-3 this year, so that's a little surprising. But we beat TCU and Texas Tech, lost Cincinnati, but then we beat Iowa State and Colorado to finish 500 on the season. So we'll take it. Unfortunately, it is what it is with this team. We're still very low in players as well. Maybe that was the reason why we only went 6-6. Although we were like an 84 overall. So we just signed 3 more players, which is definitely going to help out. And we still got a lot of people wanting to transfer out, which is unfortunately not good. Gunnar Stockton wins the Heisman Trophy. 3,700 yards, 37 touchdowns. And a couple interceptions. I think I accidentally pressed A on that. But Independence Bowl here against Tulsa here for BYU. So we do make a bowl game here in Season 2. And hopefully we can win this one and go over 500 for the first time here with BYU. That'd be very good if we could. But it just depends on simulation. And the result is we lost. So we go 6-7, but we go up to a 3.5-star prestige. Pro Potential goes up to a B, but everything else is still the same. I really don't like having that many people want to transfer out. But Michigan wins the national championship 38-21 over Kansas State, with Florida State, Louisiana, Georgia, Kansas State, and Penn State as the automatic qualifiers, with UCF, Michigan, Texas, Oregon, Notre Dame, and Clemson and Arizona as the at-large bids. So 3 Big 12 teams, UCF, then they beat Florida State, then they lost to Louisiana, and Arizona, along with Kansas State, all made it into the into the national or the college football playoff. That's the words I'm looking for. But anywho, that's going to end season 2. It is on to season 3 here with BYU. And here we are in season number 3 here with BYU. We go 8-4, an actual positive winning season. We beat FCS Navy. We lost to Iowa State to start Big 12 play, but then beat Cincinnati, lost to Utah, lost to USF, and that was our last loss until we lost to Arizona, because we beat UCF, beat Kansas, beat TCU, beat Arizona State, lost to Arizona by 2 in overtime. So that one was a little unfortunate. And then we beat Baylor to end out the year, and both teams go 8-4. So, I mean, it's a winning season. We don't make the conference championship games, since we lost 3 games in the conference, anyways. But very solid season as an 86 overall. We do get the week 16, so we got to advance one more week. But all in all, I mean, nice little season from us, I guess. And hopefully we can carry that momentum into next season. Brock Lowry, the quarterback from Ohio State, wins the Heisman Trophy. 3,500 yards, 35 touchdowns, 5 interceptions on the season. And we're playing Purdue in the Alamo Bowl. So a pretty good game here against Purdue. And hopefully we can win it and go 9-4 on the season. Eventually end up being ranked in the top 25 if that is the case, if we can win that game. It'd be kind of cool if we do, but kind of understandable if we don't. We actually did win. We are 9-4. Pro potential goes down, but coach stability only improves to a D+. Is kind of wild. We improve our coach prestige up to a B. But yeah, 9-4 season. I don't know if we can check the game. Probably not. No, we cannot. I kind of hate how you can't do that. Hopefully they fix that in 26. But it looks like Ohio State wins it all over Pittsburgh 38-21. With Kansas State, UAB, Ohio State, Pitt, and Oklahoma were the automatic qualifiers. With Michigan, Wisconsin, Georgia, Notre Dame, USC, and Alabama, Washington as the at-large bids. You know, it's really surprising. The 1, 2, and 3 teams in the nation did not even win their conference championship games. Michigan didn't win the Big Ten. That was Ohio State. Same with USC. I don't think they went to the Big Ten championship game. Neither did Washington. So it's just kind of wild. But anywho, I know one of them went, but I don't know who. But anywho, that's going to end Season 3. It's on to Season 4 here with BYU. And here we are in Season number 4 here with BYU. We go 11-1 on the season. Having to play Kansas State in the Big 12 championship game. So it's still a solid season. We lost our first game to Tennessee. Then we went on a huge run, beating Minnesota, Utah, FCS, Texas Tech, all of the Big 12 teams. We beat Kansas State earlier 34-28 in Week 12. So hopefully we can take that again and win again. Because if we lose, I think we may drop out of the top 25, or at least the top 10. We only get 165 XP, so we do lose, but we are ranked 9th. So we do get to go to the college football playoff at least. Barely. And I mean barely as well. We did get a couple of awards, so I don't know how much we lost by. We lost 34-26, so it was almost exactly like the other game. We actually had a decent lead of, well, it was only by 3, but we had more first downs, more offense. They had just more rushing yards. Did we turn it over? We turned it over once. We had 1 pick. That's it. That was the main reason why we lost. So that's a little unfortunate, but let's figure out where we're going to be playing in the college football playoff and who are we going to be playing. We are ranked 9, so we should again make it. Hopefully is the key word. Tommy Newman wins the Heisman Trophy with Georgia, 4,000 yards, 42 touchdowns to 10 interceptions. And we'll be playing Oregon in the college football playoff. That's great. That's fun. Taking a look at North Texas, South Alabama, Georgia, Pitt, and Nebraska with the automatic qualifiers, with Auburn, Notre Dame, Oklahoma, Alabama, Michigan, and BYU, Oregon as the at-large bids. So we're the 10. We just sneak in, but let's see how this college football playoff run goes. But let's get started here against 10-3 Oregon. And they are an 89 overall team. So this will be a tough one here against a tough Oregon team. They always are tough no matter what season it is. And occasionally they sometimes don't make it, but they make it here in year number 4. We're starting on defense first here against Oregon. And Oregon gets a touchdown to start the game. Ours first drive ends in a punt, and they have a 7-0 lead after 1. We punt, or Oregon punts, they get a touchdown after we do, and we get another touchdown to tie the game up, 14-all going into halftime. Second half now, a lot of turnovers for both sides and a lot of punts for both sides, and it'll stay 14-all heading into the 4th, where we have to punt to start the 4th quarter. Oregon gets a big run, but the defense holds. So now we just need a field goal to tie the game up, but a touchdown gives us the lead. We have a goal-to-go situation, and we have our first lead of the game. However, Oregon has a chance to retake it. They have the 16. They get a touchdown. We need a field goal with 41 seconds left. How about a touchdown with 3? And BYU will stun Oregon. 28-24 win. And the crowd is just quiet. A huge win. So that means we are moving on to play Nebraska in the quarterfinals. That's an absolute huge win. Clutch win, too. I was not expecting to win there after they got the touchdown with 40 seconds left. But one play is a touchdown. We're heading into the Rose Bowl against Nebraska. We also have to hire staff, which isn't very fun. But it looks like Auburn beat North Texas, Oklahoma beat Notre Dame, and Michigan beat Alabama. So we're going to have to face Nebraska, and the winner of this game would go play Michigan or Pitt in the next game. But we do have to hire our defensive coordinator. So that's a little unfortunate. Looking for someone with... Honestly, this looks pretty good. We're going to hire this guy. Hopefully he signs. But that is hopefully the case. But let's see how we do against Nebraska here. So let's get it started here against the 11-2 Nebraska team. And they are an 88 overall. So not as much difference compared to them in Oregon. It looks like Nebraska did win the Big Ten this season. So hopefully we can get another win, and if we do, we go to the semifinals for the first time here with BYU. And we're starting on offense first in this one. And the offense goes nowhere. Defense gets a stop, then we get a touchdown, but so does Nebraska. But we still have a 7-6 lead because they missed the extra point. Second quarter, it's still now 13-7. It'll be 13-10 at the half with Nebraska leading for the first time. Then we get a stop and a touchdown. Nebraska will punt again, and it's a 17-13 lead here for BYU, and we turn it over immediately to start the fourth quarter on a fumble. But the defense gets a stop to where they only get a field goal. We need a touchdown to take a huge lead, but we get another field goal. Then we get a turnover and a touchdown that pretty much puts the puts the nail in the coffin. That's what's the words I was going for. I don't know what I was talking about knife-wise, but that puts the nail in the coffin, and it's a 27-16 win for BYU over Nebraska. And now we're just one win away from a national title appearance. And it's going to be a tough matchup whoever we play next week, especially if it's Michigan. But we shall see who we get here next. We're going to be playing Michigan in the Orange Bowl, so this will be a tough one. They beat Pitt 40-34. Georgia beat Oklahoma, and South Alabama beat Auburn. So it'll be South Alabama, Georgia, and Michigan, BYU. And the winner of both those games will face each other in the national championship game. So again, this will be a tough one no matter what. So let's get started here against 12-2 Michigan. And they're an 89 overall. So this will be a tough one here against Michigan. We just got to figure out ways to get stops like we've been doing this whole CFP run and get points on offense. We cannot turn the ball over. If we do that, this game's not going to go over very well here for BYU. But we're starting on defense first in this one. And the defense gets a turnover. But Michigan will counter that after a touchdown with us. It's 7-3 after one. And now it's 14-3. And now it's 21-3. Michigan's not doing so hot here in the first half. And we get ball to start second half. Unfortunately, we don't extend the lead. But now we do. It's 28-6 heading in the fourth quarter. Let's see if the defense can get another stop here. They can't. They get a touchdown but miss the two-point conversion. So it's still... Well, it's only a two-possession game, technically. They still need two touchdowns and two-point conversions. They get the first one. Under 2 to go, and we have to punt. 40 seconds to go. They have 4 seconds, and that's going to do it. BYU is heading to the national championship game with a 28-20 win over Michigan. And we are just one win away from having another team down here in the series. But we just need to win one more game. Again, it's between South Alabama or Georgia. Did we hire our coordinator? We did. Okay, I was just making sure. But we have to find out who we're going to be playing against, and hopefully it's not Georgia. I'm really hoping South Alabama somehow pulled off the upset, but We had the player of the week getting 2 tackles. It's kind of crazy. But Noah Lugo, 283 with 3 touchdowns is pretty solid. And he wins the national player of the week as well. And we are playing Georgia in the national championship game. They're ranked number 1 for a reason. They are 14-1. They defeated South Alabama 24-6. So it's not a high-scoring game as much people would think for Georgia. But depends how they do here. So let's get started here against 14-1 Georgia. And they are a 90 overall compared to our 86. So this will be a tough one to win, especially against a very tough Georgia team. But just like we've been doing all run, get stops on defense and score on offense, and we can win this game. We're starting on defense first here against Georgia. And the defense gets a stop, but so does Georgia. And it's 7-0 after 1 here. Georgia leads. Our next drive, we have to punt. They get a field goal. We would also get a field goal. They get another field goal. So it's 13-10 at the or 13-3 at the half. Fourth quarter, we do get a turnover and a touchdown. So we're only down by 3, but Georgia has the football. It's a big opportunity for them to extend the lead. Big 3rd and 8, we get off the field. They don't even get a field goal. 4th and 3, we punt the football. And they get a big first down on 3rd and long, but they fail again. So we still just need a touchdown to take the lead, and we get it with 2 minutes to go. And they get 2 plays, and they get a touchdown. So now we need a touchdown with 30 seconds to go from the 8 first and goal. We don't get in the end zone. And Georgia will end the run for BYU. A very, very tough game. We were yards short. We lose by 5, 22-17. Just a very tough game to lose there. Had a lead with 2 minutes to go, and then Georgia just pulls a Georgia in 2 plays, scores a touchdown, and you just can't have that. But, man, that's rough. But we'll head to the end of the season recap here. Pro potential improves to an A. We're now a 4-star school. Coach stability is an A-, and coach prestige an A. Athletic facilities goes up to a B+. Man, there's a lot of good stuff here for BYU now, but that hurts. That definitely hurts. With the National Defensive Player of the Week, Lamar Wilkes, 2 sacks, 4 tackles, 1 for a loss. Very good season. Lugo, 243 and 1 touchdown. He's a junior, so he'll be back next year. But, man, that's a rough way to lose. But that's going to end Season 4. It's on to Season 5 here with BYU. And here we are in Season number 5 here with BYU. We go 11-1 on the season, 8-1 in the conference, playing Kansas State again in the Big 12 championship game, and hopefully we can win this one. We end up being ranked number 2, and we are a 90 overall. We actually defeated Georgia in the rematch of the national title game of last year. But we did lose to Kansas State as our only loss, so hopefully we can take our revenge on our only loss on the season and win the Big 12 and get a bye going into the college football playoff here in season number 5. We just signed a 4-star, and we did win. We lost. We're 11-2. Math is hard, but it looks like we're going to be playing in the first round again. Just we can't beat Kansas State. Kansas State is always a good simulation team. They beat us 34-26. And yeah, we fall down to 4. We were number 2, so we only dropped 2 spots, but still, we're going to be going to the college football playoff. It just depends where we are going. And it looks like Kansas State's probably is going to get a first-round bye. I just don't know where. Elijah Brown wins the Heisman Trophy. 3,500 yards, 40 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Good season from him. And we'll be playing Notre Dame in the college football playoff. So let's check out the bracket here. North Texas at ranked 14th. Wow, okay. UNLV, Stanford, Florida, and Kansas State with the automatic qualifiers, with Clemson, Arkansas, Wisconsin, Notre Dame, BYU, and UMass, Oregon as the at-large bids. So this could be a tough one here against Notre Dame, but we shall see how it goes. So let's get this started here against 9-3 Notre Dame. And they are an 89 overall, and we are at 90. So we have the overall advantage in this one. But if we turn the ball over, it doesn't really matter. So we cannot be doing that. We have to score on offense and get stops on defense. So let's see how we do. We're starting on offense first. And the offense scores a touchdown. Defense allows a touchdown. We get a field goal. So we take the lead 10-7 at the end of one. Defense allows a field goal. So it's back and forth. Field goal. So it's 13-10 at the half with us leading. We get the Notre Dame starts. We get a turnover and a touchdown. That's what we needed. And another turnover forced by the defense. It's 20-10 going into the fourth. And they have a big 3rd and 6. And we get a pick 6. And it's 27-10. They will not score. Had a very good drive going, but they're still down 3 scores. They do get a touchdown to make it a 10-point game. We're just kind of fast forwarding here. We take some knees, and that's going to do it. BYU will beat Notre Dame 27-17. And that means we are moving on to the quarterfinals again, just like last season. Winning in the first round and now having to figure out a way to win again in the next round to get to the semifinals for the second time here with BYU, and hopefully get to the national championship for the second time here with BYU, and this time get the trophy. We'll be taking on Florida in the Sugar Bowl, and we'll check, of course, around the league or around the college football playoff. North Texas defeated Clemson. Wisconsin beat Arkansas. And Oregon beat UMass. So it's going to be a tough one here against Florida, but hopefully we can find a way to win. We do have to hire staff here, but we got another defensive coordinator. Sure, we'll do this guy. I think he runs we have 4-3 multiple, I guess. But that really doesn't matter. So let's get this started here against 11-2 Florida. And they are an 86 overall. So we need to find ways to get stops on defense and score on offense, just like last week. Do not turn the ball over as well. Because again, if we turn the ball over, it's just guaranteeing a score for Florida here. So we can't be doing anything. We're starting on offense first as well. And the first drive ends in a touchdown. Florida gets stopped. We get another touchdown. So we take a 14-0 lead at the end of one. And they make it 14-3. Now we get a turnover. That's big because it's now 21-6 at the half after they get a field goal. Florida will begin the second half. Doesn't do anything. We don't do anything on our first drive. So it's 21-13 going in the fourth. Big 3rd and 8. 4th and inches. They go for it and get the first down. 4th and 1. This time they don't get a first. But we go 3 and out. 4th and 1. And they punt the football. And we get a big first down and a touchdown. That's the nail in the coffin. They get a touchdown, but it doesn't even matter. It's 28-20 victory over Florida. And we are moving on to the semifinals here with BYU facing either Oregon or Kansas State to try to go back to the national championship game here in Season 5. We went first time in Season 4, but now we got to figure out a way back in Season 5 to try to win it all this year instead of losing in Season 4. And we do get a player of the week, so that means probably Kansas State lost. Yeah, they did. We're going to the Peach Bowl facing Oregon. Of course, we're obviously going to get the program builder unlocked, but we really don't need that at this point. Oregon defeated Kansas State 35-21, and UNLV is facing Wisconsin in the other side of the bracket. So this one will be a tough one against Oregon, but same as last week. Get stops on defense and score on offense. Let's get started here against 13-2 Oregon. And they're at 88. So we are the better team on paper, just like the first 2 games. But we have to do like I said before. Get stops on defense and score on offense. We cannot turn the ball over in this one to figure out a way to win. So let's do it. Starting on offense first in this one. And the offense goes nowhere. Defense gets a stop, and the offense couldn't score. So nothing after 1 for both sides. And we turn the ball over, and Oregon gets a field goal. And another turnover, and another field goal. But we get a touchdown to take the lead, 7-6 at the half. Oregon starts with the football, doesn't do anything. And then we get a big turnover and put up a field goal. So it's 10-6 going in the fourth quarter. And a big 4th down, and we get a stop. And now we just need at least a field goal to make this a 2-possession or a 1-possession or a touchdown lead pretty much. And we get a touchdown to make this a 2-possession game. That is big. 4th and 2, they get a first, but they're eating a lot of time. 4th and 2, they don't get it. All we need is a first down, but we get a flag, and we don't get anything. 3rd and inches, they get a field goal, and we recover the onside kick, and that's going to do it. We're going to defeat Oregon 17-9. And we are moving on to the national title game to face either Wisconsin or UNLV. So we are just one win away from having another team down, another Big 12 team down as well. And I believe we still have a lot more Big 12 teams as well. I think this is like one of the teams that we haven't really done much with. We've done Kansas and Kansas State, but we still have, and Utah, but we still have a lot more to go. I know Arizona and Arizona State are still on the board. Colorado is still on the board. But we're taking on Wisconsin in the national title game. They defeated UNLV. What was the score for that game? 35-32. So a close game with UNLV for Wisconsin. They've played a lot of close games, but so have we. But let's see how we do against them. So let's get this started here against 12-3 Wisconsin. And they're an 88 overall team. So again, overall advantage has been for us the entire run. But we need to score on offense and get stops on defense. This Wisconsin team's not going to lay down and just let us win. And we're starting on defense first in this game. And the defense gets a stop. The offense scores a touchdown. So 7-0 lead here for BYU. And then we turn it over, and we turn it over again. Back-to-back drives, we get a turnover, but we do take a 21-10 lead. So just take away the 2 turnovers, and we have a chance to extend the lead even more. But 21-10 here in the 4th quarter. Still a 2-possession lead, and now it's only 1 possession if they get a touchdown. It's a 5-point game. So they need a touchdown, but they punt the ball on 4th and 5. And now they get a touchdown, and now we are down by 1 with 2:39 to go. But we take the lead by 7 after a big touchdown and the 2-point conversion. Wisconsin, though, gets a touchdown and ties the game up with 30 seconds to go, and we're heading to overtime. And we have to kick a field goal. 3rd and 4, 4th down, we get a stop, so they get a field goal. Big 3rd and 2, and they get a first. Just run the ball down our throats. They get a touchdown, but all we now need is a touchdown. 3rd and 1, we go for it. We get the touchdown. Do we get the 2-point conversion? We do! And BYU has done it. They have won it all. After losing last year, we get it done in season number 5, a 40-38 win. And there it is. BYU has done it, and that's another team down. So, all in all, a win is a win. And we'll check out the stats, of course, before we go. And Ferris with 2,600. Lugo even had 16. I guess he had to get hurt. Maybe that's why. But yeah, he was 86 overall, 1,600 yards, 16 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions. He was a fantastic year. Ferris came in 2,600 yards, 4 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. So we had 40 touchdowns passing wise. That was kind of nice. Josh with 1,100 yards, 12 touchdowns. McCain 270 with 6. Lugo 109 with 2. And Ferris had 73 on the ground and 1 touchdown as well. Receiving wise, Dillard had 1,100 yards with 11 touchdowns. George with 874 and 8. Downing 865 and 10. Josh had 417 and 2. Afa had 285 and 5. Fallon 284 with 2. McCain 134 and 1. And Wicks 58 and 1 as well. Defensive wise, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that name. 74 tackles to lead the team. Johnson had 9 for a loss to lead the team and 9.5 sacks. 8 picks for our strong safety to lead the team. We're not looking at deflections. We're looking at forced fumbles. We did recover a good amount of fumbles as well. We did have 1 blocked kick. We had no safeties, but we did a defensive touchdown. Kicking-wise, Artez, who was our freshman kicker, missed every field goal from 50 and 1 from 40, but had 2 extra points blocked and just missed 1 as well. But Yeah, not great for field goals. Punting-wise, Milano at 3,000 punt yards, 11 inside the 20, and 8 touchbacks. Not too bad. And we did a punt return touchdown. So, hey, that's nice. But that's going to do it for the video. I hope you guys did enjoy. If you guys did, hit that like button down below. It is free. It really helps out the channel. Also, if you guys want to see a team that we have not done before, write a comment down below. Just make sure you check the description because that holds every team that we have done so far. Just so we don't have another team that we have already done. But anywho, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, week, weekend, whenever you guys are watching this. And I'm out. Peace.